I asked people to recommend me books they didn't like, but I have a personal TBR too, and I have just finished Convergence by Kearstin Dunn. It actually comes out in 2 days on October 28th. This is a YA dystopian fantasy that is told through dual POV, and both of those characters are originally from an underground city called the Burrows, which is where the remains of humanity took shelter after nuclear warfare essentially destroyed the surface of the planet. Lennon, who is our FMC, turns 18 and undergoes the Convergence, which is a century-old rite that determines whether you are worthy of a life bond with an animal, and as such, the gift of magic that that bond bestows upon you. If you are worthy and you emerge from the Convergence with a bond, then you stay in the Burrows and you continue to actively contribute to the community. But if you're not deemed worthy and you leave without a bond, then you are exiled to the uninhabitable surface of the planet to die. As far as Lena knows, as far as what the government told her, that's the truth of it. And then she meets Slade, our second POV, who is everything she thought to be impossible, and also lots of things that she never imagined. And as the bigger picture of everything starts to fall into place, Lennon and Slade are tested, and they have to decide if they're willing to risk it all to unravel the mysteries of the past, the mysteries that more than one government has interest in. Guys, this was so fun to read. This is getting 4 stars from me. The reading experience is getting 4.25. A few things you should know. First, this book is marketed as The Golden Compass meets the 100, so before I even cracked the cover, it was like, sign me the fuck up for that. And now having finished it, I would say that's a very apt combination. It really did give the nostalgic early 2000s dystopia vibe, which was weirdly comforting. I don't know how to explain it, but it never was cringe, you know? And I feel like that's a hard line to walk. And then you also have the relentlessly witty and sarcastic animal companions, which is also always a win for me. The second thing that you should know is that I read this in a day. The writing is clear and easy to understand, not unnecessarily complex, but it still managed to create realistic depth for the world. I cared about the characters, I was invested in the plot. Promptly after finishing it, I actually DM'd Kearstin and I said, and I quote, "Hey, hi, hello. I have to lodge a formal complaint because what do you mean that is how it ends?" It did feel a little bit chaotic and busy at times, but also unlearning government propaganda and not knowing who and what to trust will do that. So it's possible that it was intentional. And something else that I appreciated about this is that nobody is OP. Even at the end of the book, the two MCs are still growing into themselves, growing into their power. They're still surprised by what they're capable of. You see their youth, even though their circumstances have forced them to grow up really fast. Overall, very possibly my favorite YA read of the year. I will be excited to see what comes next for these characters, for sure.